In summer, we visited Russell Fleming at his Rongatia grain contracting business and farm. Russell is the Lower North Island Director for the Foundation for Arable Research and has been promoting and helping the maize industry for well over a decade.
Predominantly we're grain contractors. We grow a lot of maize on our own land, work leases and have grain contracts with farmers. We fill the rest of the year in with custom harvesting through the summer, baleage, hay, maize silage, trucking, transport, storage, drying, basically trying to utilise the gear for the full 12 months of the year if we can. We grow a lot of maize for Tegel and Inghams, have been our big markets traditionally. Our maize silage area to dairy farmers is growing all the time, and we've got a lot of small feed manufacturers that we supply as well. We supply the grain, we buy it off the farmer and sell it right through to the end user, marketing the crop. We grow hybrids here that are generally under 100 days CRM. We are very conscious of grain quality, and we probably err a little bit on the shorter side of what we could achieve as far as yield, but we want to keep that grain quality right up there by having an early harvest and doing everything timely manner. Initially when we used to grow grain, we were ploughing the paddocks, we were working them fairly hard, and we used to put cattle in on the paddocks afterwards. We didn't know better. Now we're very conscious of maintaining our soil quality. We're doing min-till work, we're trying to preserve that soil resilience. We're trying to maintain grain quality. The harvest traditionally used to go right through till about August. Now we aim to have most of our grain off by the end of May to keep grain quality right up there. We're on the lower end of the maize growing region. We're a little bit cooler than some areas, but we're one of the few regions that can grow arable crops and maize crops, so we have 2 harvests for our combine harvesters. Well, I've been involved with FAR, with the Maize Research Committee, for 12 years now, and it's had a big impact on our business. We've moved to minimum tillage techniques, top working techniques, strip till techniques, better managing our fertiliser use. We've seen yield gains. It's had a big impact on our business, and it's been great being on that cutting edge of what's going on, working with scientists, keeping the research focused on the problems we face as farmers every day. You're coming into the future, I think we're going to face a lot of issues that FAR's been proactive with, particularly our Maize N program, the deep nitrogen testing. We're coming under more regulations, and FAR's been very proactive, and I believe that they've paved the way to give us systems we can work with profitably, and if these are accepted by the regional councils, it'll be a win-win for the environment and for us as contractors, farmers, saving costs. Tillage techniques that FAR's developed, beneficial environmentally, and I think we're seeing more resilience in our soils too, as far as weatherproofing them in these difficult wet years. I'm deep coring a paddock here for our Maize N computer program that's been developed by FAR, nutrient budgeting. I take cores down to 60 centimetres. I'm here in a customer's paddock checking it for them. These are crops that have had a very hard time, nearly 200 mils of rain since planting. But we'll be coming back in 2 or 3 weeks to side dress these crops. So we need to be able to run the nitrogen profile through the computer, work out what rates we're going to side dress that fertiliser at. It's measuring mineralised N in the soil and working out how much is needed to top that crop off to maximum production. It'll work out the planting date, the solar radiation, the hybrid, the population, whether it's for silage or whether it's for grain, and tell the farmer exactly what rate of N he should be putting down. The Maize N was developed partly to make nitrogen use for farmers more efficient, particularly where maize has come out of grass. There's huge amounts of N that have got down below the root profile of grass, but maize is able to suck them up. Maize is showing up as being a great bioremedial crop to clean up soils where phosphate and N have leached deep. And we've also seen situations where farmers have put far too much N on, which is bad for the environment and also hurts their pockets. We're hoping this will be satisfactory for the regional councils as far as with our own Horizons 1 plan. It looks as though that'll be accepted as a nutrient budgeting tool, whereas overseer and a lot of those things do just not work for crops. The technology we've taken as far as GPS has made things much easier. The gear, of course, has got much bigger over the years. Every time we buy machinery, it seems to get wider than the one before. And the capacity, our combines these days both combines are capable of harvesting over 60 tonne an hour, whereas when I started years ago we were only harvesting around 20 tonne per hour. And the machinery, everything has moved in that direction, and certainly we're covering a lot more ground in a much more timely manner. The GPS certainly raises the level as far as the job we can supply. We've had customers who are very keen to get yield maps, which we've had on the combines now for about 5 years. The auto steer certainly gives a better job. The rows are straight, everything's planted exactly as far as populations per hectare with gaps in the paddock. And we're just finding we can just do a better job, provide a better service, and the customers are certainly happy with it. We've gone to the RTK GPS. We've found that that's giving us a lot of advantages. I think most of our new tractors will come with that gear in the future, certainly the larger ones. As far as the yield mapping, we're still working out where we're going to go with that. We've had 5 years of yield maps now, and the technology with things such as Green Seeker and IV lights in the paddock that can measure the greenness of the crop and sensors. I think that's where the future will go, but the science is still catching up a bit with the technology. Throughout our business, we've probably got 10, 12 bits of gear, which to replace we'll be looking at $500,000 each, so it does get capital intensive. We're under pressure to increase our grain storage. We're currently storing about 8,000 tonnes, and this last season we handled over 27,000, 28,000 tonnes, so more storage for grain would be good. But the downward cycle of the commodity industry makes you careful too, I guess. It's very difficult to charge more. I see it more as a point of difference as a contractor. We can offer something that others aren't, and we can help them manage the whole package rather than just doing individual parts of the job. I see that's where its strength is at the moment.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.